As far as a game like Call of Duty goes, there's a ton of small little intricate details. You've got weapons, you've got specialist characters, score streaks, and all of these things all interact differently with each other. And that is why we have the 5 Things series. In this series, we look at the smaller intricate details, see how they interact together, and test things that wouldn't normally happen in a normal game. But I thought today, since you guys had so many amazing comments on the previous video, that we would step it up a little bit, and instead of looking at 5 things you didn't know about Black Ops 4, today we're going to look at 10, really 11, but 10 has more of a ring to it. And I know it's been a while since I made one of these videos, so I'm sorry about that, but as always guys, if you enjoy this type of video, if you want to see more of this kind of thing, all you have to do to show me is simply hit that like button, because the more likes these video gets, the more likely I am to continue this series and make more and more just like it. So if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button. And the other thing I wanted to let you guys know about before we dive into this video is my Instagram. I've been trying to upload more and more to my Instagram. On top of that, uploading some clips from the live stream. So if you haven't already checked out my Instagram, it'll be the first link down in the description, and if you're into that kind of thing, if you want to know more about my day-to-day life, check that out down in the description below. Now, let me shut up and let's dive into the 10 things you may or may not have known about Black Ops 4. Starting off with destroying score streaks. So, for years now, the best way to destroy score streaks has been taking them out with rocket launchers, blowing them up in the air, but Black Ops 4 kind of turns that on its head because of 2 attachments. FMJ1 and FMJ2 allow players to actually deal more damage to score streaks and take out score streaks easier with primary weapons. One of the weapons that this is available for is the Paladin, and you guys let me know in the last video that FMJ1 and FMJ2 on a Paladin can one-shot a Thresher. And so we tried it out, and when I originally heard this, I thought, oh yeah, well, easier said than done, but really, if you have Engineer on and you can see the Thresher coming, it's actually not too difficult at all, and in fact, a couple of times, I hit it on the very first shot, and I'm really not even that great of a sniper, and as it turns out, it's 100% true. You hit one shot on the Thresher with the Paladin with FMJ1 and FMJ2, the Thresher is done. Which is insane when you think about it, because the Thresher is a 1,200 score streak, aka 12 kills in team deathmatch, that can be taken out with one bullet. Now, the next thing I wanted to test wasn't actually in the comments from the previous video, but rather from the most recent update. In the most recent update, Zero got nerfed so that after hacking enemies, the enemies could then still use their specialist weapon and equipment. So theoretically, you should be able to hack a Zero right after they hacked you. So we tested it out, and that is 100% correct. You can hack the enemy Zero right after they hacked you, which kind of defeats the purpose of hacking, if you ask me, and it's kind of weird. But speaking of hacking and taking out score streaks, the next comment we had on the previous video is Brandon said, did you know you could one-shot the attack chopper with the dart? So we tested this one out. And as it turns out, this is actually not true. At least from everything we found, we tested it a bunch of times, and every single time we tried this, it always took 2 dart drones to actually kill it. The first one would make the attack chopper start to smoke, the second one would destroy it, and you get the 125 score. And like I mentioned, we tested this a bunch of times, tried to hit the helicopter in different places, and every single way we tried it, it always seemed that the helicopter needed 2 dart drones to hit it before it would actually explode. Now, another comment that I got that was actually very, very similar is that if you try to take out the sniper's nest with the dart drone, the sniper actually snipes the dart out of the air. Now, this I did not think was going to work. However, upon testing, that is exactly what happened. Time after time, we would throw the dart into the air, and the sniper's nest would just snipe it out from under it. That being said, it is also possible to kill a sniper's nest with dart drones. Once again, you have to hit it twice, and it's even more unlikely because the snipers have to miss the dart a bunch of times, because as soon as that's in the air, that's what they try to snipe for. but it is still possible to kill it with the dart. Speaking of the sniper nest though, Squeaks Mark II said, the sniper's nests shoot at enemy sniper's nest. Well, first of all, I didn't even know it was possible that both teams could call in a sniper's nest at the same time, but it's 100% true, you can, and once you do, they actually have a little dogfight in the air where they snipe at each other, and if you eliminate one of their snipers in their nest, you actually get points for it, or if they get yours, they get points for it. And if your sniper's nest manages to take out both of these snipers on the enemy team, their sniper's nest just completely goes away. And honestly, I thought it was pretty cool that the helicopters could have little mini dogfights in the air. Now, the next thing that you guys let me know in the previous video is about a specific map, and it's Arsenal, and it has to do with the vents on this map. And it's specifically the fact that you actually can't call in a seeker drone in the vent. So I went ahead and tested this, and it's true. If you throw your seeker drone while you are in the vent, it simply explodes and you lose it. But testing this even further, what we did was we took the seeker drone and had it chase someone who then ran or slid into the vent. And what actually happens is as soon as that character slides into the vent, the seeker gets almost confused and doesn't electrocute that person. However, if they do go to the edge of the vent, that is when the seeker actually is able to shock them. And basically the way it's programmed is that the seekers just simply can't go in the vents, which is kind of weird. You'd think the vents would be a perfect area for the seeker to go, but not in this game. The next thing you guys left in the comments has to do with some AI score streaks and specialist weapon equipment, whatever you want to call it. But R2K Death says that the Strobe Light actually works against the Strike Team and Nomad's dog. And it does. Kind of. So we'll start with Nomad's dog, Juno. When you use the strobe light against him, he very briefly gets stunned for maybe about 3 seconds, which isn't a ton, but it does give you enough time to actually kill that dog. Now, after that 3 seconds, he goes ahead back to normal and attacks you, and you can't use that strobe light for another 10 seconds or so on that dog. So it does work on the doggo, but does it work on the strike team? Once again, kind of. So once again, you can stun the strike team similar to the dog for about 3 seconds once again. However, the strike team has a lot more health, and on top of that, they have guns, so it's hard to get close enough where the strobe light actually works. Also, for you to successfully stun both members of the strike team, they have to be standing very close together, which once again is extremely difficult to do, but like I said, it is possible. You just have to be very careful with it, because like I said before, they've got guns. Then the next comment kind of went along the same lines of the one that we just looked at with the dog. Braden says, did you know that you can kill Nomad's dog with 1 tomahawk? And since generally speaking, the dog pretty much runs in a straight line at you, this is actually relatively easy to do. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the tomahawk is probably actually the easiest way to kill the dog. So I would recommend doing this in multiplayer if you ever get the chance, but let's be honest, not many people actually run the tomahawk in game. But you guys know how I am. From here, I wanted to take the next step. This wasn't commented, but I wanted to know whether or not you could kill the strike team with a single tomahawk as well. So we got to testing. Now, of course, this task is a little more difficult because, first of all, these guys have guns. On top of that, I didn't even know if it would work because they also have a lot more health than the dog. But as it turns out, this is very, very, very possible. In fact, this is one of the fastest ways, if not the fastest way, to actually eliminate these characters. If you didn't already know, each strike team character has about 1200 health. So even if you use something like the Annihilator pistol, it's actually still going to take upwards of 3 shots to eliminate one of the members of the strike team. So it just shows you how much damage that Tomahawk or Combat Axe actually does. But ladies and gentlemen, those are 10 things you probably didn't know about Black Ops 4. If there's anything I missed or you would like me to test in a future video, all you have to do is leave a comment down in the comment section below, and if you think something works or there's a cool interaction, maybe your comment will get featured on a future episode of this series. Also, if there were certain things you did or didn't know in this video, you can let me know that down in the comments as well. On top of that, if you enjoy this type of video, you like this series, and want to see more of it, it, the best way to show me is by simply hitting that like button. Like I said earlier, the more likes these type of videos get, the more likely I am to continue on this series in the future. On top of that, if you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on all of my videos, the best way to do so is make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications on. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time guys, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard, and I want